Say I'm live. Grace and peace. Let me see if this thing is even showing it. I'm watching this great president of these United States. Okay. Do me a favor. Yeah, just type a one in there. If I'm sounding all right. I know the sound isn't really the thing. I had the thing flat down, but it sounds all right though. I sound clear, right? Really? Okay. And the thing is, hey, what's going on, boy? Good to see you. I wanna, I wanna make sure that it's clear. It's looking clearer than the other spot. I don't know, with different spots. Y'all know I've been in a couple of Airbnbs with different spots. It's the clarity is different. I guess it has to do with the speed of the Wi-Fi or something to that effect. But if I'm looking if it's the way it's looking on this phone, it's looking crisp. Thank you. It's looking good. Oh man, what's good? What's good? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm gonna give y'all a couple of seconds to get in here. Now I want to say apologize to my Patreon people. We are going live tomorrow. Certain things I can't say. Make sure y'all keep telling me if this volume is good. Certain things I will not say because I don't want to cause I don't want to cause no unnecessary grief, unnecessary beef with other people. I got a few followers and I got some young brothers, that's involved in. Good to see you, Randall. I got some other brothers that's involved in apologetics, and they come through. They come to the classes, and they look, and they listen and stuff like that. So I don't wanna really offend nobody. I don't wanna get anybody thrown off. But you are. Am I still echoing? Let me make sure. Am I still echoing? Just hit that down in the thing. I thought it might have been the volume from the other phone. I try to look at that in the monitor. What it's saying, y'all, let's know one thing for certain: the Christian church isn't helping none. No plans, no nothing. We're being told just have faith. Just have faith about what you're talking about. This with this with the Let me see. I'm here. The truth would be earth and the pain. Let me see. Sometimes you gotta hear certain things. There's some couple of things. Like one question I want to answer. Some people say, "Why are you not a Christian apologist no more?" I'm gonna get into it more with class tomorrow. We're not even class. We're gonna open up the floor for some questions because a lot of questions been coming in. But why I'm not involved in that anymore. For a long time I have been noticing certain things, and y'all know I've been saying everything, good to see you, Rome. I've been saying for a minute, gang life and this and that, and people click up. If I'm involved in certain things like apologetics, I can't tell you the whole truth. I was talking about. I post a book, and I'm gonna show y'all some stuff. We gonna go in. And people even start seeing this. I posted this on Facebook. Oh, they get nervous. But I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna explain something to y'all about the Bible games. The Bible games. I'm not sure if y'all can see that. I'm gonna pull a few out. This is Joyce Meyer's Bible. Tony Evans got a Bible. King James got a Bible. I'm not King James. I'm talking about King, because King James got a Bible. Oh, John MacArthur got a Bible. Jimmy Swaggart got a Bible. I'm gonna explain to y'all all of this Bible stuff. And I'm gonna show y'all a couple of Masonic Bibles, and I'm gonna show y'all some things in there, and I want y'all to know what they've been teaching them brothers, and where some of this Kemetic stuff, or how they were trying to put them on top of the game, and is the Masonic religion better than Christianity? Get out of here if you think Freemasonry ain't a religion. It's a system, and we're gonna explain some of that. But why I can't be involved in the apologetics and stuff no more is that you cannot keep it 100. Like I said before in other videos, and I'm gonna get deeper into it, no apologist would say the tree is not original. There's certain things that apologists can't say. Now, and then to be honest, to uphold a certain thing, people will get on here and lie. If folk telling y'all the church ain't in trouble, they lying to y'all. If folk try to give y'all the impression that the church is growing, they lying to y'all. Plenty of people leaving the church. Plenty of people, pastors are walking away from the church at greater numbers than they've ever done. They committing suicide. Churches are closing on the regular. So don't let nobody fool y'all with this. But in order to be down with apologetics, you have to say certain things. No apologist, no urban apologist gonna tell you right now, listen, we got problems with that text. ABC, because that's not their job to do that. No matter, everybody in seminary will tell you that. It's just not their job to do it. Like I said, they're not gonna speak on that tree. I was watching last night Divine Prospect of some of them Israelites. Y'all know I've been following that thing real closely. I've been following that thing with, the urban, with the apologists and with the UA and the moderates and this and that. And as much as you try to warn people, as much as you try to say things, people hear what they want and they say what they want. They put out there what they want, and a lot of people do it, including people that's involved in urban apologetics. They claim they're being fair. They're explaining this. They're explaining that. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just gonna put information out there. I'm gonna tell y'all what to watch out for, and I'm put information out there because I'm on no one's side. A lot of Israel think I'm on their side. I'm not on side. I just want them to be. I just want them to be fair with y'all. I want to be fair with everybody. If we ain't been questioning them alphas, if we ain't been questioning the pastors as Qs, them pastors as Freemasons, y'all not finna tear them down. That's my position. Let's question everybody or let everybody ride or question everybody equally. If you haven't been questioning Zionism, if you haven't been questioning the people in Israel with all of this energy, let's question everybody equally. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. And that alone is a problem. But watching them last night, they were commenting on some things that went on with vocab and the urban apologists that were on. I'm not going to stay on this long because I'm going to get in religion, Freemasonry, and what's going on. This awakening, where is it coming from? The church can't have folks sleep no more. The church been ain't answering questions, and we've been saying we'll get out there and say, well, some of these, what they said, these are the receipts that's come back because basically the church ain't been doing their job. So now folk getting out there, folk got questions, and folk, because of social media, they're getting certain things answered. Now they're trying to, plug up some holes in the ship. It's a sinking ship. I'm not talking about the true church of the living God. I'm talking about this bootleg church running around here. Most of these churches on the corners bootleg. How I know that? Because they ain't lining up with the book. That's how you can tell something's bootleg. But there's some other indicators I'm going to give you because y'all like touching your neighbor. Y'all like doing some stuff. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But like I said, I don't want to say certain things about certain individuals. But I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about that in Patreon because y'all need to hear the whole truth. Y'all need to, these folk out here playing games with y'all. Now, when we say certain things, I want to make sure I clarify stuff because people would act like, and to throw me under the bus. I told y'all persecution will come. They'll act like, oh, he's going over that way. He's down with those people. He's this, he's that, and people, and that's what the church do. Study the witch trials over here in America. Study the witch trials. Study all of this stuff. This is what these people do. Study how they were moving in Europe. That's how a lot of times I'm not banging on the secret societies hard because they said we gotta circumvent the powers, the authority of the church. We gotta circumvent it. And sometimes you gotta circumvent some things that's going on because people that's down, they just can't see it. Like the Pharisees, nobody calling the urban apologists no Pharisees because they want to call y'all the Pharisees and all of this stuff. And it's a back and forth. It's a back and forth. It's a this and it's a that thing. Or we can quickly become hypocrites, telling people to check other people. Oh, y'all don't check them camps. And of course, anybody that's black that got some sense that want to be affiliated with camps, especially knowing how the FBI moving and all this stuff out here, you should be nervous. I would understand that, but at the same time, you can't tell all of them regular moderates running around here checking the camp and y'all ain't checking y'all folk. Come on, people peeking all of this stuff. What else are they peeking? We haven't been telling them nothing. Now, Enoch in heavy rotation. We never told y'all that they were rocking out Enoch in Africa on the other side of the planet. So now young people looking like, wait a minute, the canon ain't even the same. They're looking at a lot of stuff. Have y'all been playing us? Have they been playing us? And apologists ain't coming out talking about no cannon, no tree. They're not going to talk about certain problems. They're not going to talk about certain problems. And I was watching the brother, Jay the producer. He came out. I don't know. He was on the panel with Sister E and them and Divine Prospect. He was on the panel, and he said that he came out of being the Hebrew Israelite movement. And he got a channel he was building, but like you said, as time went on, his I'm using the term, I'm freestyling what he said. He said his banging changed from banging on Israelites, banging on the camp and the doctrine, to start banging on things in the church. You never bang on the church. You never speak against the church. It's always a don't ask, don't tell type of thing. We've been riding out with homosexuals and gospel music, playing the organ and the choir, but there's certain things not to talk about. I'm not trained. I don't know what you not supposed to talk about. We're gonna talk about it all. I told him 2 years ago, I said, oh, when I'm banging on Sinetta and them, it's apologetics, but when I'm banging on the church, I'm causing division. If we're going to start dealing with truth, we got to deal with the whole truth. We got to give them everything. These young folk, they want it, they're going to get it. They want it, they're going to get it. Let's just bring it all out. Let's bring it all out. Whatever we have not been doing right. Because y'all trying to act like the church been keeping it 100, doing everything right. Oh, these people are this and these people are that. No, we got to keep it. No, we got to keep it 100. People keep telling me, you giving them ammunition, you talking about the tree. Y'all ain't talking about the tree. And I know the tree ain't nothing, but there's a few more doctors. Y'all gonna make me, and this is what bothers me, y'all gonna make me say some stuff that's gonna give y'all problems, and then y'all gonna say that I'm in rebellion. Remember, I had a channel before I met y'all. But I've been doing this. The term urban, y'all, that's how I said timelines are important. And I'm going to start dealing with salvation, and I'm going to explain. Let me go back a little bit so I can explain some of this stuff, because there's mad confusion in here. That term urban apologetics is brand new. These folks are attempting to answer a few questions, but we're going to get into the whole thing. We're going to go back and get into the whole thing. Y'all can't play no games with me in these timelines. I told y'all I'd have been studying them feds. I know how they move, and cops are trying to lock you into a timeline because they want to know what's what. Folk want to jump on the scene now. A new movement want to jump on the scene and start this. No, we got to backpedal. We got to go back to some other stuff, and we got to lay this whole thing out. Now, before we start getting into the Israelite thing, I want to explain some stuff. When y'all hear us talking, and I say Israel, y'all already know who I'm talking about. These folk are trying to give you the impression, or they dumb, deaf, and blind. They gonna try to run around here and act like they don't see something happening. So if you don't act like you don't see it happen, I'm gonna tell y'all what's happening. When I say black Hebrew Israelism, I'm talking about what them white folk had in Europe. Them white folks said we was the lost tribes. That's what the white folks said. We the lost tribes. God gave Britain, and all of this stuff to great pure white Israel, and we gonna rule the planet. And they moved forward with a lot of that German slavery and everything else. And they God's chosen people. They're gonna just find the sugar and spice and everything nice. They raping, doing their thing, but and robbing material from Africa and different things, minerals. But when it comes down to it, slavery already existed. I got to take y'all slow through some of this stuff, but I don't want to give y'all everything that we're going to lay into, because I want to definitely get into questions and answers. We're going to get into some dialogue tomorrow up in that Patreon, because we got to talk about these folk, and these folk thinking we blind. We not blind. Too many people waking up and they can't shut it down. But I'm going to ask y'all a question, because they're going to try to say, oh, this awakening is of the devil, and the devil trying to lock y'all into culture. But I know before that the religious folk caught what y'all was doing, the devil, and it wasn't even the devil. I'm gonna slow down. I got some. I'm not sure if anybody in here. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more minutes, but we're gonna go on with this. When I say black Hebrew Israelism, those are guys that could be in the corner. Say a guy grandmother. He grew up. His grandmother was going to church. He never went to church. He might have been in and out of jail, catching charges out here doing whatever. And he ran into some guys on the corner with the Bible, talking about, yo, this is your book. The white man lying to you. We the people of the book. The white man ain't nothing. The white man reign finna come to an end. Y'all gonna come and kill up these white folk, and they gonna be y'all slaves. Those guys were never saved. They were never born again. They came into black British. They came into black Hebrew Israelism. They were never converted in their hearts. They just hate white folk, and they got some religion that's helping them hate more, like the Klan. White Christian Klansmen hate everybody else and think God has made them rulers of the planet. Same thing. Same thing. So the same thing was going on in Europe. We see happening. Where that other water at? I think we see happening with certain things. And some people would say, well, camps developed from that. It's deeper than that, because the churches, this is part of the church that formed all this stuff out here. It's partially our fault, but we don't want to talk about that. We just want to do all this stuff. I'm not playing with these folk out here. I don't want to start wilding out, though. I don't want to start wilding out. And that's those guys. Those guys never been saved. They never been washed in the blood. They never met Christ. They haven't had a personal relationship. But now when I'm talking about Israel, I'm talking about dark-skinned folk that been saved. I got people been saved. The other sister was singing in the choir. Other dudes is ministers. They elders in multi-ethnic churches. They been pastors. They Christians already. They done been Christians for 20 years. And now they're taking on this Israel thing. So my question for them smart folk, is why are more black regular Christians, the few that's staying around, because most folks just picking up and they leaving the church. There's some hanging around, but don't let these fools get y'all thinking this church growing like it's growing and busting out the door, because that ain't Rick. Rick say it's going to be a falling away. So when we look at certain things, we got to ask ourselves, why are those people that were already saved, that already have the Spirit, why are they saying, they saved, they washing the blood, they understand Ephesians 2:8-9. Y'all trying to run around here propagating like, oh, they don't know what the gospel is, and trying to discredit a movement, trying to discredit something that's happening, and there's more and more of those people than the guys on the corner that's following black Hebrew Israelism. Wake up, church. Y'all been sleep about a lot of stuff. I'm trying to wake y'all up, but now because I come speaking truth, I'm not your friend. I don't want to play the game the way y'all want me to play. Oh, you got to be quiet on certain things we speak on, other things we don't. Why, come on now, why all you scholars and you researchers ain't researching that tree? How come all y'all, and then it's interesting because the brother Jay said that when he started talking on other things and banging and speaking on things inside the church, that's when some hate started coming. Oh, they liked when he converted and he was giving his testimony how he used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, they loved that. Like I said, they love when I bangs on Sinetta and them. They love when we talking that talk with Garfield, and they love that stuff. But they don't love the other stuff. Where that tree go? They don't love that other stuff. Why the great pumpkin? They don't love that other stuff. And they don't think they got to explain it to y'all. These folk ain't playing with y'all, and they sliding. Oh, if they really say that they're really believers, they wouldn't slide. A real believer in Christ. Listen, a real believer in Christ is going to say, listen, it's A, B, C, and D. My homegirl was going to another church, and they trying to act like you ain't saved through water baptism. You got to be saved through water baptism. And then, they putting her on the phone with the elders and everybody. You got to go down in the water. You ask them to forgive you your sins, but if you die before you go down in the water, I'm telling her, listen, girl, that ain't book. That's the other thumpers. Another lady gets another elder from the church that come in there that been saved, that's a teacher on the outside. She said, I'm part of 2 congregations. She said, that's what they teach over here. What I'm telling y'all, because of this internet, y'all pastors don't know, it's more people sitting up in the church believing. Listen, you think that's a rapture tongue-talking church? You got folk that's going to tongue-talking church, don't believe nothing. They think that's gibberish. But they like the church, they go to the church, and they go somewhere else. Y'all don't like that. Y'all listen, you funny pastors don't like that, that your people online are looking and searching because your church don't supply everything. You ain't giving them everything, and it's okay. That's not to hurt anybody. People are out here looking, and we're in the age of information. Everybody walking around with a computer. Everybody walking around with a computer. They hearing Blavatsky. They hearing esoteric stuff. They want to know, what was he in the belly of a great fish, or is that a story? Is that an allegorical story? How Christ came back and said the same thing? What do these things mean? And they just looking to go deeper. They just looking to go deeper. Listen, and trying to move politically and trying to move in the right way. I say I'll do this and I'll do that because you offend church people. Like I said, y'all can say what y'all want. 99% of them folk got that tree. They the tithers. So the finance and who control the finances have a lot to say. Have a lot to say. I'm not gonna just let anybody come and get down and rock out with me and they don't look out. They not down with the thing. Or Berean, let me copy you some books. Berean, listen, I got you right now. We finna get you. So listen, people that y'all see around me, the people they look out, they support, they want to show. Yo, I'm down. Even my Patreon people are showing you, I'm down with you. I'm down with these teachings. So those people that are trustees and there's deacons and there's heavy tithe payers in the church, they listen to certain things you could talk about and certain things they don't want you to talk about. There's organizations that fund these folk. Like I said, I'm gonna talk about that later on. I'm gonna name some stuff. These folk think y'all can't play, don't play. Don't play, and I'm not doing this, like I said, to defend somebody else. You just can't keep it. You just can't keep it totally 100. You can't keep it totally 100. And there's so many things I say. Oh well, if it ain't the end of the world if you don't go to church. If this corona stay around for 4-5 years, what y'all gonna do with the church doors? Oh, if they don't go to church, they ain't saved. You can't be encouraging people. Listen, I've met some very good people, very people that I would consider spiritual people that haven't stepped foot in the church in a minute. Y'all think that's impossible. There's a lot of stuff they fooling y'all with out here. We were talking about soul ties and different things, so I'm throwing stuff out there. If you seek, can something exist because it's not in the Bible? At least I heard the other sisters say that these people are having spiritual husbands and wives and entities sleeping with them and all of this stuff. None of that is in the book, but there's some other stuff happening out there. We got to wake up, so we're trying to take them somewhere else. And apologetics don't want to take them somewhere else because you gonna have them questioning Christianity. I'm not saying tear down the dogma. I'm not saying tear. Matter of fact, let me get to reading some of this Masonic Bible and show y'all something. This is where it's gonna be a problem. Now, I know I shouldn't do this live. I ain't got no business doing this live, and I'm playing myself. And matter of fact, no, I ain't gonna even. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later on. We'll talk about that later because they'll be like, look where he taking them. And there are people that's not ready to hear some things. There are some people that's not ready to hear some things. But we got to give it all to them. We got to give them the good, the bad, and the ugly. When the kids are little, you don't want the kid to know about pee and vagina. When they little, they can just pee, you wipe yourself, you just do that. But when they get older, you can't have them thinking that that's all that they do. No, they're gonna learn other stuff. They're gonna run into other things. So I understand at a young age, some people spirituality, they're not ready for certain things. But come on, you got grown rusty folk been in church 25 years. Can't answer no questions because y'all haven't been challenging them. Y'all haven't been dialoguing with them. Y'all haven't opened up that floor to give them that business, to let them ask questions. Everybody got questions concerning their faith, but y'all haven't been doing that. Now y'all trying to plug up the holes. Y'all can't plug up the holes by steering people in the direction you want to steer them and answer questions you want to answer and don't want to come out. Say what you want. Them Israelites are saying some truth. But y'all don't want to be a witness. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want to say, y'all don't want to hear none of that. I mean, the fact that a lot of y'all ain't even steeped in the history anyway. If it ain't Daniel and the lions, then half y'all don't even know what the book of Daniel. That's a whole nother story. I'm gonna leave that alone. Oh, you don't sound right. You banging on the church. You bang everything is listening. I'm sorry. I feel differently from those people. I feel if you really love somebody, you're gonna tell them the truth. You're going to tell them the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And there's a lot of people out here. There's some pastors that don't know, some people in ministry that don't know, and some folk deliberately don't want to answer no questions. And all these churches in America, plenty churches you go and you start asking questions, you ain't got no faith. They're looking upon you, they're shunning you. Then they're using scriptures, mark those that call division among you. You heard the question, he lift up his hands. You heard what he asked the pastor? And they're trained like they don't even know they're doing it. They trained like that. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not playing with it. I'm good. And a lot of the stuff is happening for a reason. Let me try to read some of this. I wrote down a couple of things, but we gotta do some stuff. If that corona hangs out for a little while, for 3, 4, 5 years, then what? Everybody ain't going to church. It ain't never been about the building. It ain't never been about that. Church existed 300 years before they had a bill for Constantine. Mother went inventing stuff. Let me give y'all some of that. Constantine mother was just going, picking out lands and just make believe. And hey, build a church right here. This is what I think. Make believe because of her position and her bread. We're gonna start talking about make believe. That's the part that they don't want. That's the part that they don't want. How we gonna look at this text? How we gonna look at this thing? We funny. We want to bang on them and do A, B, C, and D, and our own people doing A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and you ain't checking them. You ain't checking them. Come on, man. That whole thing jumped off with Divine Prospect. They talking about this online. They talking about publicly. Let me talk about that. And I ain't listening. Like I said, I ain't listening. That whole thing with Divine Prospect and Faithful to God. Come on, man. Y'all ain't check him. Y'all ain't checking why? Because Faithful is too important to the movement, to banging on the movement. That's how come he could do what he want to do and talk the way he want to talk. Listen, y'all keep playing with me. Y'all don't ring my phone. Don't ring my phone. Don't bother me. Don't bother. Y'all don't want to bother me now. To be honest, can them other dudes try to shut me? Yeah, them other dudes could try to shut me down. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know, because I'm gonna tell y'all something about them preachers and all that stuff, and they got some money. Everything don't be God. Some of this stuff be private investigators. Yo, this dude, whatever. Private investigators coming through and all of this old crazy stuff. So they could, say, listen, it get bad. It get bad. They could shut me. Listen, I die. Whatever it is, I bid. Whatever it is gonna be. But y'all gonna hear some stuff y'all don't like. And then I'll be up in there with the few bishops talking to me. I tell you, they use the N-word on me. Like, what are you doing? Like, I ain't doing nothing. I just want to enlighten the people. I want to enlighten the people, Bishop. They looking at me like you gonna cut this nonsense out. It ain't even about blowing nobody up, but listen, we got to lay down the truth. So, like I said, we not knocking doctrine. We not knocking, dogma. And we're going to explain all of this stuff because it's questions, and if we'd have laid all of the history down. I hear Israelites talking reckless, talking crazy about Constantine, don't know what the hell they talking about. This Berean don't know what they talking about. And then, like I said, we even in the conscious community, when I say, yo, what's them primary sources on Nicaea? What's them primary sources? Why we run down on the church fathers like that? Where was they preaching nationality in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th century? Where do we see this in Africa? Where do we see when the temple was destroyed, when the Romans ran ever? Where can we trace this thing to? And through what writings? We got to look at these things. And there's some guys that's going into the history and trying to establish some things. We'll start first looking at similarities and trying to deal with some stuff. But then the other way is the doctrine. So they're going to make it sound like y'all doctrine is crazy. And some of y'all doctrine is crazy. So I'm not here banging on changing dogma. Dogma is just doctrine. That's just the creeds and the stuff that come down to teach you, to instruct the people. So nobody's saying we got to change that. There's some stuff y'all are trying to act like came from Christ, and it just didn't come from Christ. And everybody, listen, y'all think they retarded. Y'all are disrespectful to the people. Matter of fact, that's what I'm gonna say. Y'all disrespectful with it. Because y'all think y'all could say anything, and just because you got the collar, just because you the pastor, they can't sit back down and be like, wait a minute, I was just thinking about something. Because on the low, y'all saying, don't think, listen to me, don't think. Anytime somebody get to telling y'all that, it's a problem. It's a problem. So we're not saying trying to change dogma or any of that stuff. I don't want y'all to ever think that I'm running around here, that anybody running around, because they'll make it sound like, oh, well, here we see a picture with him in Masonic Bible, and they'll take a frozen shot of that. Then they'll go and sit down and they'll build for 4 hours on a video. Of course, he bringing the people out. But let's think. It could be a demonic deception getting y'all away from God. Now the problem is, there's so many of y'all that love God, and they still trying to say y'all getting away from God because you're bringing up culture, you're bringing up history, and and it's so crazy because most of that Old Testament, so much of that New Testament, when they were oh God, I'm getting ready to get off here. I'm gonna say this one thing. When Peter and them was preaching, the first thing they went to do is to go back to the history of them as a people. Ye men of Israel. When they were preaching all in the book, this is what, hey, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother. He twisting up what he confused, and he calls and praying. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. This is all book. This is all book. So we all talk about the parts of the book we want to talk about. We all talk about Paul. That's how we love running Paul. We love running to Paul. Now, did Paul make it sound like he wouldn't think about no Israel? God ain't think about no Israel. Did Paul say that? Or do I like to use the verses that Paul just said, Gentiles, and we up in there, and I'm good, and I'm riding out? Y'all think about that. And then, like I said, this ain't to bang or nothing like that, because I'm not heavy into Abraham. Yeah, I'm part of Abrahamic faith, but listen, Abraham was a good shit. There's some Bible scholars that think that them folk wasn't nothing but the dissatisfied Canaanites. Y'all do know when it come down to Hebrews, Hebrew got DNA. Do Hebrew got DNA, or did he call out a Gentile and begin to form a nation unto himself of all type of people, light skin, dark skin, dread, long hair, short hair? Mustache. Come on, I don't know. I don't know. We got to talk about a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna say some other stuff. I got some stuff I want to talk about. I'm not playing with these folk, and these folk don't want to bother me. I don't want to come in the wrong spirit. I want to make sure I come in the right spirit. I want to make sure that I'm sharing truth and not sharing it out of some sense of bitterness, maybe, because some people would say that. Somebody else was just like, man, listen, you know what it is. Truth divides. Truth divides, and just stop it, plain and simple. You know, there's many people that I know that call themselves Israel. They don't use the word Trinity, but they believe in the same. They believe in the same exact thing. They believe in the same exact thing, that the Son is eternal. They believe in all of that. Y'all could turn around and say they don't. Oh, and if you really question them and all of this other stuff, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead with that. Y'all go ahead with that. Y'all clowning. Nobody playing with the doctrine. Like I said, people been saved. People been in the church. Why are Christians in the church? Pastor, why are Christians in the church turning around and saying they Israel? You can't make them black. You can't make them black Hebrew Israelism. You can't make them the guy on the corner that was never converted, that was never born, washed in the blood, that was never born again, didn't have the born again experience. When people have had that born again experience for 20 years, then they start getting into history and talking about stories they heard from their grandmother and start, then what's that? That's the devil got them? Could be the devil. It could be the devil, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's an awakening. Y'all can't stop it. Ain't enough urban apologists, and I know y'all want to train more and get more people out. Ain't enough of y'all to stop what's going on. I'm sorry. And this is not the devil talking. I know you're gonna say it's the devil. The devil done got on top of him. The devil riding him right now. He's saying that it is what it is. That's on top of Blavatsky. That's on top of the New Age. That's on top of what we would call the evolution of mankind. When I start showing y'all stuff out that Masonic Bible, it is a religion. And they said at the altar Freemasonry, all wise men can get together. Be it Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, they don't care. All can worship at the altar of the one true God. They may have differences in opinions and differences in creeds, but us all get together and say one great one created us and we need to love each other. That's a new religion that's around here right now, and y'all sleep on that. Y'all sleep on that. Could that be fueling people towards a one world order, towards a one world religion? Because this new age, because everybody is part of that. Shamas and Indians and Oprah and Kemetic people, everybody's part of that. And I'm gonna show y'all how Noble Drew Ali and them through this book. Through this book. I'm gonna show y'all through this book right here what W.D. Fard, that pale man, came to give y'all. I'm going to show y'all through this book. And they all been moving like that, using certain things, religion and nationality. How can we do it? The Freemasons, this is nothing but tools. These are tools to build a people. If I'm a leader, these are building blocks. Paul said he was a builder. These are different bricks, and we bringing it together, Mello, and we bringing it together. It's master builders. I used to lay bricks. You, the regular guys, y'all getting laying them blocks on the corner. You need the bosses on the corner, especially when we doing certain patterns on the corner. The bosses, the older masters are on the corner, laying the building out, making sure that thing is right and exact. Got to be plumb and square. Why are they using these terms? Why are they using these terms? They're using them for a reason. It's a spiritual thing that's coming down. It's an evolving system that's always being used. That's what we're going to talk about. Y'all can't say he read the Masonic Bible. I got Joyce. I ain't read nothing yet. I ain't even started yet. I got Joyce Myers too. She white. Y'all love white folk, right? She white. Before y'all go say he running around here with a Masonic Bible doing such and such and such, because y'all switch the game up quick, fast, and in a hurry. Well, that's why I'm not down with, that's why I'm not down with that thing, because they can't. I feel I got a freedom. Now, I can't use my freedom recklessly to say certain things, but I'm going to point out what I see. I'm going to point out what I see. I want them going to bang on them other folk over here and we ain't taking care of. Come on, man. Come on. But that's that cockiness that come with it. Is it a spirit of pride saying I want to protect the doctrine and the dogma? Is it a spirit? It could be that, but then maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something else. And it definitely got to do with numbers because the teaching would have been out there. The teaching would have been out there already. It's a serious time. They see folk jumping ship, and folk jumping ship all over. And like I said, don't let them folk, they got y'all thinking everybody church jumping. Few people may get them a couple of humming in their church. Every church ain't jumping like that. Every church ain't growing like that. Don't let them get y'all twisted. They nervous. People leaving. People got questions. People leaving. They going to African spirituality. They going to straight atheism. We got more black atheists in this country right now than we've ever had in this country. Black folk, y'all ain't never really been atheists. This is a new phenomenon with Hitchens and them. Them other horsemen. This is a new phenomenon, but we got a bunch of them running around here. And they trying to tie it into some Kemetic naturalism and all of that stuff. We'll talk about all of that, but these people ain't gonna just be saying and doing what they want to do. And like I said, I'm not gonna bang on no one individual group, but there's some stuff we gotta look at. Now, we're gonna always lay into some things and try our brothers. Is somebody a brother if they don't believe in the virgin birth? Is somebody a brother if they don't believe in the Trinity? I don't care if you use that word or not. If you think God made Jesus one day, was Arius? Y'all know who Arius was, right? Or you Constantine scholars? What primary sources we using for that? Somebody put that down in there, because we got scholars running around the Roman Catholic Church of Constantine, paganized Christianity. Yeah, we do have paganism within Christianity, but what Christianity is that? The problem is we can't even tell the bootleg, because the other people, we're just defending a thing and holding up a thing that don't have nothing to do with nothing. So now we're looking shaky. We're looking like we can't be trusted. And you got other people, like I said, you got Europeans all on YouTube saying, listen, we got to go back to the old way. We got to get rid of some of this stuff. But for some reason, other people aren't. People disgusted with the church, and I'm gonna say it. And I'm glad they banging on the church. The church need to get banged on. We need to get shook, because when you're too comfortable, you think it's all good. Heavy as the head that wear the crown, cats coming up. You put sitting in that car, cats coming to knock your head off. Oh, Christ. Listen. If Christ came back now, would Christ be disgusted with some of us and some of what we doing and some of what we got in the building, some of the images we upholding? Would he be disgusted with that? Come on, y'all love that book. Y'all love that book? Come on, y'all love that book. Would he be disgusted with that white all black image of Christ if y'all say he the image of the invisible God? Y'all running around here with these images. And you come on now, and y'all don't want to bang too much, because y'all know that banging is going to get to going to some other stuff. That bang, matter of fact, I'm getting up out of here. Y'all like, I ain't got, give me some thumbs up. I ain't even messing with y'all, because y'all going to get me to talk about some other stuff, and this was going to bother them. Because you could be influenced. You can be trained so much in your thinking that when you're away from those people of that culture, you're thinking and talking like them because you've been trained by them. You're thinking like them. I'm just talking in general now. I'm not talking in general now. Before they go run trying to make a video saying A, B, C, and D. Listen, we gotta step it up a notch. They asking questions and information is out here. We just have to step it up. We have to bring it all out. All type of hands have been influenced in this thing. And a lot of people, they are right when they start saying certain things around most of what they're saying about Freemasonry. I'm hearing online is nonsense and people just running their mouth. Most of what they're saying about Constantine, the Roman Catholic, Babylon, they just running their mouth. They picking it up from some crazy other books. We're going to try to get into some sources and tradition and legend. When they start telling you the legend came down to Abraham and Euclid. Tubal Cain, when they tell you the legend. Nimrod coming down when they say the legend. When we see Thoth, when we see certain things, Tahuti, when we see certain things coming down, the legend and the craft, and then people pick up Hermeticism. Where do we see it first really popping up with writing? Where do we see the large first really popping up? Honeywell Cook manuscript, where do we really see it? What's that other book, The Three Knocks? Y'all Google that right there. Y'all like Googling reading stuff. What's that book talking about the Three Knocks? That's one of the books from way back in the days. Talking about Freemasonry, one of the first books to start exposing and speaking on the ritual and saying that people were meeting and doing certain things. And it had a religious element to it, but it were builders that were in Europe. I'll put that book down in what you call it. I say that for them people tomorrow. We ain't gonna, like I said, ain't no sense in going off. But y'all, we gotta, if we're gonna be fair, whatever we're gonna do, let's just try to do it across the board. Y'all pray for me. I'm crazy. And I admit that I'm crazy. Anything jump off and I get them mad enough, they just gonna come out. And I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about them apologies. I'm talking about them other fuck. I'm talking about them other bishops, because I'm getting ready to get some business about them other bishops. They be like, oh, this Negro wanna play with us, right? So I'm gonna try to shout out to all of y'all. I don't got no beef with y'all, but I got beef with y'all. I don't got beef with y'all, but I got beef with y'all. I know y'all doing what y'all can do, but we just gonna talk. We just gonna talk it out. You say what you want. And one of the things that's more hurtful is that I met so many people. Being that I've been doing this, y'all could try to talk about these folk ain't going to church, these folk ain't saved. I met some spiritual people. Crazy times that people just hit me on the phone. People just hit me, listen. God just put this on my heart, A, B, C, and D. So crazy. Right when it's dire, dire need. Only God could have done that. They ain't no, only God could have just told them to do that. Y'all trying to act like these people ain't spiritual because they ain't going and jumping and acting a fool. I'm gonna tell y'all what, a lot of times people come jumping acting a fool in church, they're the most carnal. Shouldn't have said, I'm getting my ass off of here right now. This is enough. Because this is where they're going to get aggravated. They're going to be like, yo, you got to leave it alone. Leave it alone. Just be regular. Listen, I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all know what it is. $ Berean Teach. If y'all want to get us some coffee and stuff, all the Patreon people, I've seen some messages and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with that thing. But we're going to definitely, I'm going to drop a code so we can go in here and go and talk. I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to tell y'all about these other people, and we just going to build. We're going to teach this thing, gossip. It's keeping it 100, putting it out here, and it's going to be some information out here. Now, I ain't giving y'all this information. This is one of the problems, because I try to go through that name, Yolanda. I try to go through that name. Who said, where is, I don't know what White doing. Sister E was on with them last night. I talked to her yesterday. I talked to her 2 days ago. We might have to I'm gonna definitely get her back on. I'm gonna get her. I think, like I said, I'm gonna bring 4 or 5 people on. I'm gonna bring 4 or 5 people on to show y'all something, because you know the enemy hate when people from quote unquote different denominations or whatever can get together. And like Yolanda, to be honest, a lot of that whole beef with me and all of this stuff started with Sister E, and she's a, you know, she got a voice or whatever, and she on the panel, we talking and we back and forth, and people feeling some type of way. They're like, no, they too comfortable with an Israelite on that panel, but Marie and them too comfortable over there, and that what was. I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm gonna talk about it to the Patreon people. It was just too much. And you know, and there's people don't like certain things, and you try certain things, and you got folk out here, and they've always been out here trying to, you know, put out. We got the authority, we got the keys to the kingdom. Who saved, who not saved, and they just doing the most with it. You know, historically, have, you know, they just doing the most with it, and you know, kind of threw stuff off for a minute. But can't nobody stop this awakening? Can't nobody stop this thing? They could go on and they could talk morning, noon, and night. They ain't doing nothing. And the new thing is just to bang and hate and hate and hate. And because society is so dumbed down, because so many people don't know anything, they saying, oh, that's apologetics. Oh, that's great. Those are Christian ministers. No, they're not. They people online dogging you out, dogging a group out over there. You know, and I just, like I said, I've never really been that type, dogging out all the Masons, dogging out all the Alphas, dogging out all the Eastern Stars. Not everybody. Oh, matter of fact, let me ask y'all a question before I get up out of here. I got my holy thumpers. A lot of my holy thumpers saying, we gonna go to church. We ain't scared. Holy Ghost ain't scared. Yolanda, I need Yolanda on this one. Holy Ghost ain't scared of no corona. Now, black people, I should have said that. People in general. Listen, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna ask y'all a question because this thing came up. Can God speak 2 different ways or 2 different orders to 2 different people? That pastor said God told everybody to get together, and we all come in and we gonna hug and greet each other with a kiss and tap our neighbors and do what we've been doing, because you got the Holy Ghost, you ain't got to worry about no corona. That's what they said. That's what one said. The other pastor, he's listening to the CDC, he's listening to different things, and he believed in obeying the law of the land, and they suggested that A, B, C, and D. So he canceled his service, and they'll be online streaming. And he said God told him to do that. But the other thumper told him, I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta try to clean my language up. I clean my language up. Maybe I'll get some more, maybe I'll get some better type of people, because y'all are rebellious. They said, oh, look at the people you got. Look at your comment section. So the thumper or the other gentleman said, God told him to be there. Can God tell one pastor, Yolanda, can God tell that one pastor for the assembly to gather together and tell the other pastor not to do it? Would he speak 2 different messages to 2 same pastors? With that, I'm leaving. I'm asking you that, Yolanda. Let me see who else in here, because there's some Russians up in here. Who else is in here? I'm asking that. Man, this is... No, come on. I want to see. I want to see. Can he do that? Can he tell? Because some people going to church tomorrow and some people not. It do depend on the person. Can God give 2 different people 2 different messages? The other girl said God told her to take off all of the makeup, no makeup whatsoever, and to come up out them weaves. And the other lady said God told her to open up a beauty parlor and teach young girls and to give them self-esteem and stuff like that, and teach them beauty and modeling and how to walk. Can God talk to 2 different people? Were both of those God? Yes or no? That's my question right here. Then I'm going to leave y'all. $ Berean Teach. Y'all can y'all could give us $1. Y'all can give us $1, not because we banging on the church. No, wait a minute. No proverb. No, wait a minute. I don't see that people. I said Yolanda Proverb jumping up in here. Sam the Baptist now, and then yes or no? Can he speak to 2 different? Can he speak to 2 different people, 2 different pastors, and tell one pastor and that congregation they need to do that? And can he tell the other pastor and the other congregation he needs to do this? Or it's because the other pastor is more educated. He understands CDC, he understands germs, he understands the Black Plague, and he understands folk need to stay more than 10 feet away from each other and just not assemble. Because some people are under the pressure that God can speak both pastors and both could be correct. God will protect that assembly because he told that pastor A, B, C, and D, and won't nobody catch nothing over there. And he told A, B, and C, and D over there. I know my man and them, the elders, and them, when they had communion, they sipping that cup, and all of the elders and them up there drinking out that cup. Now, you know, a bunch of us got the little small thing with the crack on it, and you open it up, and I ain't even taking no communion right now. I ain't taking me communion in a minute. Let me tell y'all that right now before y'all start that. But I know what my people got. And my other man and them, when the elders, every elder drink out of the same cup and pass. So let me see if them elders gonna be playing that foolishness right now. I want to get saved. I want to be saved for real. Forgive me. But I'm gonna see if they keep doing that. But Yolanda, can it be yes or no? I want to hear it from you. Oh no, the chat is in here too. Okay, I can hear from you. Rush, I know some of y'all. Ross, a good question. Sam is laughing, but can that be God speaking to different people? That's how come we said that mystical side. You got to know when God is speaking. These people trying to act like He can only speak through the book. Even when He's speaking through the book, can He speak one word to you and one word to me? And it may seem contradictory, but by His Spirit, He know what He's doing. Maybe He know. Maybe He know that other church 2, 3 of them elders already got corona, and they're gonna go kissing and hugging folk and spreading it around. The kids or Sunday school teachers spreading. Maybe He already knows that. Could it be that in that mystical sense? Could that be? That's all I'm in. Maybe not. Maybe not. I can be wrong. Like, dear Berean, go with them questions and talking that foolish. It's not really foolishness. It's not really foolishness. I'm messy. I can't help it, April. I can't help myself. I'm trying to do better. Oh, Lord, Ron Moses in here. We all got to leave now. We all got to leave. But these are things that we definitely have to look at. It's a whole bunch of stuff. And a lot of people get upset because I say we got to put things out, we got to talk, and some people say, "Yo, how can you and all y'all inviting them, and you and Sister E and all of y'all get on there and talk?" And some, when it comes down to talking, a lot of people never really had it where they can vent, and people think, and there's things happening with them. They're contemplating things. Some of them rabbis said that Abraham came to a knowledge of God through contemplating on life and looking at his creation and just thinking deeply, and he started dropping stuff in his spirit. That's what some of the rabbis think. I ain't gonna say all them rabbis are crazy, but they're thinking that people have different perspectives on how revelation or how a wisdom would come, how things are instilled in us. That's how I'm gonna say we gotta talk about that mystical side. I'm shaking my thing. We got to talk about that mystical side. Let me show y'all a little bit of this just in case. I'm trying to hold the phone at the same time. Maybe I'll turn it around. Um, all right, this part right here, I can show y'all this one, and I'll probably get another one, or I get more into details with it. I'm not sure if y'all can see this good. I don't want to make the phone fall. This talks about here how the Bible is the light of Freemasonry. I'm going to explain to y'all how it became, how it's furniture. It's furniture in the Masonic Lodge. When you're looking at the rest of this particular Bible here, this is all a regular King James Bible. It's a King James Bible, though, with Masonic help. See, hear that? It just helps for Freemasonry. What do they mean it helps for Freemasons? It's telling them certain things. Let me see if I can go to the back. If you go to the back, you'll see the Papria Annie. You'll see this is scroll with Osiris and the underworld and the judgment. This is in the British Museum. It's showing them certain things from different cultures where some of their symbols or teachings come from to make them aware of Egyptian culture. That makes it different from another Bible in that sense. And there's some definitions and there's some terms inside of there. But people can go buy the Book of the Dead. We can pull the stuff on like there's nothing secret here. When Sennacherib went to war, different cylinders, they'll show you different things. So this is explaining to them a history with certain things so they can understand the temple. When the Roman soldiers came and and what else is in here? When they came and they took away the candelabra stuff. They took away the menorah. They took away the menorah and different stuff. When they took away the furnishings of the temple, and they'll explain to you, and they'll teach stories through this. But they believe the history is important to know. This is how come when somebody becomes a believer, when folk get saved, we turn around and we tell them certain things. We'll tell them stuff like, first of all, you got to know from a child, we're training them up. You got to know the story of Jonah and the great fish. You have to know certain stories so that later on, when you hear the preachers preaching and he's throwing it out there, you're like Paul. It's like Samson and Delilah. You know these stories so later on you can draw from these things on your conscience, and when the Most High drop things in your spirit, or when people are speaking in a certain sense, you know how to take something. So that's how can we say it's important to train up a child. That's why it's important to get into the history. You give the history of the people, because no matter what I might be considering myself Cush or a Gentile that's grafted in, I still am locked in with that history. So I got to understand that history of Israel. So when I hear the preacher preaching and he bringing something thing up, bringing me out in captivity, when I hear him saying certain things, I understand exactly what he's saying. Daniel, when I start hearing the lion's den, I start knowing certain things. Thank you, Mello. We appreciate you. In the super chat, he said, but I also find it funny that the church was saying, wait, hold on, let me say it, hold on, let me see if I can see it on this phone. I don't know, how can I stop it from going away so fast? Let me see, I'm not sure, you might have to type that in there again. So when we hear certain stories, we'll automatically know certain things. That's how can we tell people it's important to read the writ. But then when they read it, they want to analyze it. I find it funny how the church was saying for years that we have to go to church and stay away from the internet and stay away from the internet services, and now they are saying it's all right. But here's the trouble. Where do I get these people from? And that's why people like me, where do these people come from? But we have to look at that. We have to, how is it all right now? These people switch some stuff up. What's all right now? Oh, God understands this, but God don't understand that. I don't know. It's you causing confusion. No, it's not. People, you'll be surprised. People, some of them be thinking Berean causing confusion, but you'll be surprised how much people hit me and they be like, Berean, you brought so much clarity. Shout out to that other sister. People be like, Berean, you brought so much clarity. We looking at some things. We laying into some things, and I was always thinking this. And I always had that question, and I stopped answering, and I was so one of your videos in A, B, C, and D. You know, I ain't saying we the next best thing to sliced bread, but we understand that people want to talk. People want to talk, and people have questions. And there's a lot of stuff that we're dealing with. So like that question and some other questions I'm going to bring up, and that's just to make us think how we're going to look at things differently. Know how God is moving in your life. Know how God is moving with you. Because he works with you one way don't mean he's going to work with me that way. What he did with Moses and him, he didn't do with Joshua and them. Moses and them, manna came down. Joshua and them had to go get their food. They had to get their cake. You know, so it's a different thing. It was different thing, different times, different orders for different people. If it was all the same way, he'd have resurrected dead folk the same way. He did it different ways. He'd have healed blind people on the same way. He did it different ways. And these are teachings for us, lifelong teachings for us in a spiritual walk, in our spiritual journey. These are teachings for us, and people trying to give it to you one way. No, he told that man, he ain't healed him instantly. He said, go show the 10 lepers. He said, go show yourself to the priest. Somebody brought that up. They said, where the priest was at? They had leprosy. It was an outbreak. They had leprosy. Where the priest at? He said, go show yourself to the priest. And the rip said, as they went. That's how come y'all can't stop. Oh, yeah, now, as soon as I came to Jesus, I threw all my rap music away, and I started smoking weed, and I threw $700 bottle, $700 worth of liquor. I threw it in the garbage. And then somebody else is like, man, I've been a Christian for 2 years now, and I still, I ain't on 2 packs a day like I was before. Then y'all want to look down on that person. Oh, if you had the power, if you believed, you would have. Maybe he's walking them through something in a different way. Maybe the deliverance is coming in a different way. You can say what you want. Some people get cancer, ministers, teachers, preachers, bishops, people that love the Lord, love the King, and they got to go through chemotherapy, losing their hair, throwing up. They got to go through certain stuff. That's not God. Come on, man. Come on, thumpers. Time for the thumpers to move over. Time for the thumpers to move over and let God be God and just understand that he can move, and he moves different ways and different manners. And, nobody's saying doctrine is changing. Notice that all this ain't nobody saying Jesus ain't the king. Notice all this ain't nobody saying that he ain't dying, raised again. Ain't nobody saying none of that. But that's what these people scared of. They like, oh, you changed. Nobody changing doctrine or dogma. And between this week and next week, we're going to try to make sure on Sundays that we're going to break down and go through this history. Because when the writ says that that they continued in the apostles' doctrine. This is the beef. Maybe we'll get Sister Ian them on for that. Matter of fact, I'm going to holler Pastor Major. We're going to get them on for that. How do we look at the apostles' doctrine? Because the thing is out here, a lot of people are saying the church, y'all are not preaching what Christ preached. Y'all preaching what Paul preached. LeChat, I'm going to need you for that one too. Because these folk talking reckless. But it's some good stuff to talk. Oh, he right here. Grace and peace, Pastor. I didn't even see you. He right here, man. We got to bring that out. We got to bring that out. We got to bring some of that stuff out. Somebody else was saying when he was talking to Nicodemus in his context, he was already talking to an Israelite. You got to remember in the context of all of this stuff, when Christ was talking, everybody he was talking to, almost everybody he was talking to was an Israelite. And then came a Syrophoenician woman. And then, and then the Bible will say when it was an outsider. Then the Greeks' desire. That's like when you listen to some of them camps, some of all the Greeks, everybody was all Israelites. No, they're not. Clearly, when it was the God-fearers, clearly when it was somebody that converted to the faith, clearly when it was an outsider, what's the captain of the Syrian with Elijah and then he told him go dip in the pool? Those were outsiders. But the high God was dealing with outsiders. Remember, from the gate, Abraham was an outsider. Abraham was a Gentile, for those of you that don't know it. Then they said he's a Hebrew. He crossed over. Then him and his descendants later on became known as Israelites. So every Israelite ain't even a Hebrew. There's a lot of, so we got to talk about all of that stuff. But right now, these folk got y'all so scared to even say the word. It's like a customer. Don't say that word. And I told homegirl, I was like, yo, everything be good. Just shut that. Just stop. You just come on and don't even say that name. No, you ain't got to say that word. You ain't got to say that word. And and everything will be good. But why we got to do that for them church folk? Why we got to do that for them? Maybe a lot of people have stopped going to church and still getting in that word. You ain't stepped foot in the church building in 3 years. Maybe God's still speaking to you because you ain't in the building because you still gather with 2 or 3. But they don't want that. They can't tell you that. So they gotta come to you a different way with it. Forsake not the assembly. Another. You got to count. Everybody got accountability to saved. That got some folk around and that's congregating with other individuals. I stay got pastors gonna call me and yo, what's good, this and that. And we talk on a brotherly level, a different level. We're accountable to these folk. Some of that stuff is make believe land. I'm gonna do a video on that make believe land. Now that's what's gonna bother them. And I still ain't gonna change doctrine, but there's some stuff them folk been talking about in seminary. They don't want to hit y'all. They don't want to talk to y'all about. They think y'all are children, y'all are fools, y'all are retards. But y'all gonna hear it. I ain't gonna give it to y'all all right here. Pastor Majors, I'm gonna hit y'all. I'm gonna hit you up and see if we could do something like that this week. Some stuff we do need publicly for everybody. I don't care. It's everybody. And they be like, well, Berean, you don't put enough on the Patreon. You got to do A, B, C, and D, and I do understand that too. And I do it for different reasons. Thank God for the supporters. I'm happy, I'm happy for y'all and this and that. And like I said, $ Berean Teacher. If y'all want to put something on that, y'all want to put something on that Cash App, I appreciate that. But to be honest, you can say what you want. Another thing, yeah, we got some white pastors out there, a few seminarians putting some teachings out there. But I can't lie, you got groups and camps and putting 2-3 hour Israelites putting 2-3 hour. Oh, that doctrine ain't right. You got them with that not right doctrine teaching for 3 hours straight online. Multiple camps all over YouTube. So you got to look at that stuff. Multiple camps all over YouTube. How are we gonna deal with that? We gotta figure something out. We have to figure something out in that sense. All right, y'all see my phone slipping. Hopefully I'm still, let me see. Hopefully I'm still on here. All right. All right, tomorrow, let me see. Let me look in the comment section. If this thing didn't freeze up, type a 1 in there if the thing didn't freeze up. I'm looking clear. I'm almost positive I'm looking clear. All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is. I don't even have it. That's how I tell y'all, everybody got my Cash App. It was one thing about Berean. Berean will put that Cash App out there. They don't like that. That's a whole nother thing. I'm like, don't bother me, y'all. And don't switch up one thing for another. Y'all mad because this work that's getting put out there. Let me close that thing up. Yeah, they mad because of that. But I'm gonna start posting up in that Sunday seminary group. I'm gonna let y'all get in it so we can drop some other teachings. That's just open. Everybody could just jump in there. I'm gonna put that link out there so we can discuss, because it's everybody in there. It's the church in there, it's Israel in there, and everybody in there got some sense. Everybody in there got some sense, but it's only a certain people that can come around and can dialogue and do certain things. So y'all got to know that. All right, I'm looking good on this thing. The same old thing on 1%. I got to charge this. I got to plug it back into this charger. Oh, yeah, and thanks to y'all. Y'all see we got one of these little things right here. I couldn't find that battery pack, but I can plug this in and we'll be good if this thing was plugged up. I'm not sure if I even had this thing plugged up all night. All right, we're going to get out of here. I think we're going to try to do that Zoom thing. We can try to do that Zoom thing tomorrow and get it back up into these, like I said, all these Bibles. Tony Evans, all these folk running around here with Bibles and all of that stuff. And I think we'll pick up from right there. We're going to talk about the Bible game. We're going to talk about the Bible game because there's all type of Bibles. Why so many Bibles with so many people, individual names on them? We're going to talk about that. Some of this stuff has to do with money. Believe it or not, some of it has to do with money. It's just not all pure spirituality falling out of the sky. So, we might as well keep it 100. I might be covering this microphone. All right, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all know what it is. Al Samba Rain Teach. We appreciate y'all.